was the floor. Where was it? Oh, I'm sorry. The couch. Peace and greetings. Trying to figure out the best lighting situation because it is already getting dark. And this is why this live is not going to be long. This live is not going to be long. This live is not going to be long. I hope you're having a fantastic day, first of all. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well. Peace and greetings, family. Asante sana. Water, 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 water. Peace and greetings, family. Come on, babe.
Side a little bit.
Just a touch of love, a little bit. You can adjust it, baby. With just a touch of love. All right, so peace and greetings. Baby, can you up it and then lower it so that there's less, there's so much drapes in the,
Okay.
there's so much drapes in the, yeah. Yes, that's perfect. That would be wonderful.
Squeeze it that way. Yeah.
All right. Oh my gosh. You can lower it a little bit. Yeah. All right. So peace and greetings. Peace and greetings. My name is Goddess Queen Jamila.
My name is Sekou.
And
welcome to another live, with my queen on the side.
Am I your queen on the side or am I your queen?
You right here on my side. That's what I'm
okay.
saying.
Because when you say on the side, it sounds like a side chick.
I know. Are you not on my right side?
It sounds like a side chick though. Am I a side chick?
Did I say side queen or side chick?
You said on the side.
Did I say
like there's a main dish and the side dish?
Did you hear any chick? Mm-hmm. Hi, baby.
Hi, honey. All right.
Let's talk to the people here.
So, welcome, peace and greetings, and welcome. We are less than 60 days away from pulling up to Burkina Faso, and there's just a lot. There's like a lot of energy, a lot of attention, a lot of planning, a lot of scheduling, a lot of preparation. There's a lot of things that are taking place behind the scenes to prepare for this Burkina Faso trip. And today we're just chatting about like some of the like regular schmegular degular things about living in Africa that you kind of just you might not know about unless you've been here before or unless you've been watching other YouTubers. Like there's just some regular things. Um, Sekou has been hosting people who are from the West in our Airbnb for months and months and months now. I want to ask you, Sekou, what's like something that you hear from people like that they're kind of not expected to see or observe or they're kind of surprised about?
Hmm. I think one thing that stands out is how people receive them, the warm welcome, and the blackness.
What does that
What I
mean?
mean by the blackness is some they don't have to worry about whether their color is black or whether their color is white. As long as they're in, and nobody's worried about your color of skin.
I don't understand, but
So what I'm saying is, remember when we met the other lady that was talking about the billboards, said even the billboard is black people. So
mhm,
we're talking about the people that are coming to Africa,
mhm,
that are being in the white people land, I would say.
mhm.
So we're seeing white people all the time. So that is one of the things that stands out for them. Not for me, but for them.
Mhm.
So
You
it's
mean
just what
that?
I'm observing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I feel like I'm not comfortable yet.
yeah. The other thing is the hospitality.
Let me put my- Yeah.
The hospitality level. It's normal on this other
You
side
don't.
of the
Your butt's
wall.
not that big, babe. My butt's a
Okay,
little
okay.
bigger.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Because, you know,
Now, yeah. Now I'm on.
yeah. So the hospitality level is something that also stands out to the people that are coming into the continent. You get to see where people will invite you to their, personal ceremonies, to their own personal thing happening in their life, give you a warm welcome, chat with you without scamming you. It's possible, people still have their agendas, but that doesn't mean everybody who's talking to you nice is a bad person or has a hidden agenda to do something bad to you. So
You
that's
think
one
that that's
thing.
what most people think that the
Mhm.
people that they talk to are like.
I'm just mentioning the things that
Well,
I get to
I wanted to find
see.
out more like what things people have already said that they were surprised about. Like, I don't
Mm.
think anybody said to you they're surprised about
Mm.
hospitality.
Yes, some did.
What did they say about
Some people
hospitality?
about like how the people received them. They were not expecting that
They weren't
to
expecting to be received.
to be received in certain kind of way. It's like everything is mind your business, or I'm just here to do this and get out, and or business wise that's it. But outside of the business, then people will talk to you, people will want to know more about you, and people will want to be with you, like hang out with you without the whole business perspective.
I feel like that can actually go both ways because the reality is when when diasporans are coming to Africa, I noticed that there is like a some kind of like expected welcome. Like, oh, I'm going back home. So when you go back home, like you expect to be welcome.
Mm.
You're coming back to your home, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you're expecting to be welcome, right?
Yeah, but
And the
hold,
reality,
hold on, hold on,
if I
hold on,
can
hold on.
finish my statement and land my, I haven't even
Okay.
made my point
All right, go ahead.
yet.
Go ahead.
You
Then
sure?
I can finish off with what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So people expect to be welcome when they're coming back to Africa. Like, oh, I'm going home, so they expect to be welcome. But a lot of times, like, you're not really going home, home. Like, it's not really where your heart is yet. Like,
Mm.
you haven't really even identified the place where your heart is. There's 52 countries here. So Africa as a whole isn't necessarily home. Like there's places that are in Africa that might be hostile environments. Like, I can't be like, I'm going home. Well, where are you going to? Tunisia. I mean, Tunisia's in Africa, but it's not my home, you know? So, like, this concept of going home is, it's not always what, it's not that Disney movie fairy tale kind of version. And it can be a very dangerous, like, mentality to have, because you're even making yourself more vulnerable because you're thinking, I'm going home. What were you gonna say, bud? Because I have something else to say, but I know you were trying to get it.
No, I was just trying to, when you said like it can be both ways, other people, like some of the people that are coming in, they already have the mindset that, okay, it's not safe. You have to be protective, you have to be very careful. And Africa, like the negative side of Africa, some of them come with that, with the strong mindset of the negative perspective. So depending on the country that you are going into, how peaceful is that country, how the people in that country are naturally. So when you come with that mindset that, oh, these people are safe or it's not safe or this or the negative aspect of it, then when they come in, they see the opposite. So they get surprised. So that's the point that I was trying to make when people, somebody asked me, like, if other people say some things that surprise them. So this is one of the things that stand out as well.
I think that that's interesting. Yeah, I think it's interesting because I think that by the time you decide to go to any country, you're not thinking that you aren't going to be received well. Like, I would find it hard to believe that somebody would be surprised at, like, people being nice, because nobody books a trip. Okay, boom. Yes. So nobody does all of these things, and books the flight, gets the hotel. Like, I don't think that people generally go that extent to go someplace where they don't think people will be nice, or people will be hospitable, or people will be kind. One of the things that I know that as a Black American you can fall victim to in going to other countries is this hookup thing, right? There is a hookup culture that we need to discuss. And when I say hookup culture, what do you think I'm talking about? Short.
Talking about dating.
Nope, I'm not talking about dating. See, that's what I had to ask, because I knew that if I say hookup, people are thinking like dating, like hooking up. No, I'm actually not talking about dating. I'm talking about hookup, like, bruh, hook me up. Like, hey, you know somebody who could hook me up.
Okay.
You know somebody who could put me on, right? And Black people, I'm calling you to the car because we have a thing with getting a hookup. We want a little discount. We want a little hookup. We want to see where's the plug, where the stuff at, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that per se, because that is how we survive. That's how we make it in America. That's how we make it in UK, right? One of my biggest international flight flex stories, I've never told this on live before, okay? My biggest travel flex story is the time that I left from the US and I was traveling to Africa with my dad's remains in my suitcase. Okay, now go with me here. Okay, I'm gonna try to keep this short, sweet, and simple. I left from Atlanta. I went to where did I go? I went to Egypt, right? And when I went to Egypt, I already had a feeling like they was gonna be looking at me a little crazy, because what are you doing with these? What is this? Right? And there was a big like back and forth with them where they were like, what is this? And I was like, it's my dad's remains. And they're like, wait, what? So when I was coming out of the airport, that's when security was like, what is this? Because they scanned it and then they were like, what is this? It was a big old box of, cremated remains. And so they're like, what is it? And I'm like, it's my dad's remains. And the one security officer would go and get another security officer, and that security officer would come and ask me the same question, what is this? And I'd be like, it's my dad, right? So there, I mean, like they kept bringing more security officers, and by the time I looked up, at least 12 Egyptian security officers had asked me the same thing. What is this? And I told them the same thing. This is my dad. His name is Keith James. He's deceased. I brought him with me. I wasn't leaving America without my dad. Okay. And that was a very like scary experience because I didn't know what they were going to do. I didn't know if they were going to take his remains. At a certain point, there was someone who like opened up the box of the remains and started to like tap the dust. Okay. You know, it's like the ashes, right? He took a lighter. He took a lighter and like went like he was about to burn it. And there was one lady, and all these security people, there was one lady, and that lady she stood there the whole time. Every single guy would come and leave, like, what is this? It's my dad. They would leave. Another one. What is this? And she was there the whole time. She didn't say nothing to me. She was just looking. So as soon as he took out that lighter to try and burn my dad's ashes, she was like, you know, you could just hear her making sounds in the back like, oh, don't do it. So he stopped, and then everybody just kind of stepped back, and she was like, just go. Just get out of here, take the remains and go. Okay, now, this is the thing. I was traveling with my dad's remains with no paperwork. I didn't have any paperwork that verified that this actually was the remains of my father. So in reality, that could have been anybody.
Yeah.
That could have been anybody. What if I was a serial killer, right? that could have been anybody. It could have been, you know, my ex who did me wrong, right? So the reality,
anybody can travel.
Anybody, and who, like, you need to have paperwork. So after that experience in Egypt, I was really like, kind of like, oh God, like I just made it out because Egypt didn't know what to do. But I had to leave from Egypt. And where did I go after Egypt? No.
From Senegal to
No. Remember I went from Egypt
London?
to London,
London, yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's an even bigger, because London is all about the rules and the paperwork and the this and the that. So coming in London was no problem with the remains. But when I was leaving out of London, and I had that suitcase with the remains in it, I was like, oh my God, this is going to be a problem. Because London is not going for it. They're going to give me a hard time about this. And so I was trying to check my bag in, and the flight attendants had to inspect the bag. And for some reason, ashes are so heavy. They're like significantly overweight. So my bag was significantly overweight. And so the lady was like, why is your bag so overweight? Like, what is going on? And she wanted to inspect my bag. And it just so happened that she was a black flight attendant. And so I was like, hey, sis. So I have my dad's remains in my bag, right? And this lady was like, you have what? What you say you have in your bag? And I'm like, I have my dad's remains in my bag. And the lady was like, she looked at me. I looked at her. She looked at me. I looked at her. And she was like, you know what? Just go. Just like, she just flagged me in. She was like, listen, not today. Just go, right?
I don't want to be holding.
I don't need, sis. Because I'm like, do I need to tell them? Like, I didn't know what to do. And she was like, listen, sis, just go. Okay, just go. And that to me is like my biggest flight flex story. Like my journey with those remains, that's my biggest flight flex story. And what it makes me think about is how often we've been able to accelerate and evolve as Black people in the West through other Black people helping us, like through hookups, through somebody giving you a advantage.
I think you might find a better name for hookup.
What's another word I could? What should I call it?
I mean, networking,
No, it's
link
not.
up,
No.
anything else. But hook up, you need to say hook up. Like I said, it might.
No. It's a hookup. It's a plug. Through the plug. We always looking for a plug. We're always looking for a plug because that's how we've made it. We've made it through plugs. We've made it by knowing somebody on the inside, and that person get us in. Look at the Fantasia story. If you know anything about the Fantasia story, Fantasia was the person who won American Idol like 10 years ago. But she was the last person to audition at American Idol. It was like hundreds of people who auditioned. And the only way she got in the building is because the janitor let her in the door last minute. She got hooked up, right? So the thing about coming to Africa is that coming to Africa, any country in Africa, with that mentality, it can be a blessing and a curse. And I want to break down what I mean when I say that. When you're coming to visit the country, you may be thinking, let me ask my driver for a good place to eat. Let me ask my driver for a good place to go to the nightclub, right? You may be trying to figure out how you can get in someplace, right? You asking for somebody to hook you up, give you some information, give you a little advantage. And I want to remind you of this. There's 100% chance that your driver and the local people wherever you're visiting are not going to eat the type of food that you eat.
Not going to the restaurants.
They're not going to the restaurants that you're going to go to. They're not going to the social clubs or the nightclubs. They're not going to hang out in the same places that you hang out.
Their preference might even be different from your
Preferences are different, but also
taste.
Economical level is different. So that means the taste is different. Like you stop, like don't come with this, let me get in through the back door. This is not the place to be trying to backdoor things with local people. Okay? Backdooring with the local is gonna get you in a situation. Let me just put it simply.
I mean, they can, like you said, it can be blessing and it can be a curse.
It can be a blessing and a curse. And when I say blessing, I mean stuff like, okay, here's a grocery store, right? This is a place that you can go and get produce. Here's a market, right? But when it comes to things that are met at a certain economic or comfort level, you have to be very aware of who you're asking. I don't ask people who don't have money for financial advice. If you're broke, I'm not gonna ask you for financial advice. What? Nah. I'm good with my finances. Why would I ask somebody who's not good with their finances for financial advice? We have to ask people for direction and advice who are in the same type of capacity or comparable. Like if we can look eye to eye with one another, then yeah, give me advice. But if I wouldn't eat where you eat, if I wouldn't hang out where you hang out, it's not going to benefit me to ask you for your recommendation.
That's right. Yeah. So you have to know the person that you are dealing with and whether that person is in the capacity to give you the advice or the recommendations that you are actually looking for. So the local person might help you with some of the things that have to do with the local things. But then if you have other issues outside of that, he might try to help you genuinely and end up putting you in another situation that you're not gonna like.
Right.
So it's good to be cautious as well when dealing with them as well.
Right.
So try to know where to stop. Like you said, someone who is not even the party type, you can be asking that person, hey, which club is actually the best club here? Or which club can I go to enjoy myself? Or which bar should I go? If the person doesn't even drink, so it's hard to recommend. He might recommend a place that he sees never even been there.
Never been.
Or somebody told him.
Mm-hmm.
Then he also tells you. So some things like that. Then you end up going there, you don't like the place or something happened to you. So it becomes a mess.
Right.
So you don't want to get into those kind of situations.
And there's a lesson to be made about interacting with people and building relationships with people. I watched a movie recently, and the biggest takeaway from that movie that I watched was really about allowing people so much access to you, or too much access to you when you don't know them. Like, you know, a lot of times as Westerners growing up in America, we have to use our instinct. We have to trust our gut. You know, we're oftentimes we're traveling to Africa based off of a spiritual call, you know, based off of our spirituality, our ancestral pull. There's a lot of other energetic factors that are at play when we are making that journey to the motherland. But I want to make sure that you don't choose either spirituality or reasoning, that you continue to use your reasoning skills even while using your spiritual intuition. And the reason I talk about using reasoning skills is because we see how things are just so forefront now, so plain now in the world. Things like, you know, looking at people who've attacked others because they were jealous, looking at people who have set people up for failure because they were losing and they couldn't win, so they're mad at someone else for winning. They're sabotaging. There's so many layered situations, and when you're stepping into a new country, you don't know the culture. You don't know the culture. You don't know what's valued, what's important, what's considered to be rude, what's considered to be polite. There's so many nuances and so many layers that you could never fully really digest just by walking into somebody's country. I always say that walking into someone's country is like walking into someone's mother's house. This is their motherland, so this is their mother's house. And when you walk into someone's mother's home, you have to walk in with humility, because you don't know that mother. That mother may not like people in her kitchen. You know how it is in the States. They don't want nobody in their kitchen.
Humility is across the board.
Yeah, humility.
Everywhere in Africa.
Yeah.
So if you're calling, you want to go far, just come with that humbleness.
Be humble. Sit
if
down.
you come with something else, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so there's a lot of small nuances. Like, for example, I'll give an example of a word that they use often in Gambia. And if you're American, and I hate to characterize it this direct way, but a lot of us are overthinkers. We overthink things. We're like, did you hear what they said? Did you catch that? And what one person said doesn't go for everybody. Somebody may say, oh, well, white people are not that bad. It doesn't mean you need to go on and give them a lecture. You're not Frederick Douglass. You're not Malcolm X. You don't need to do that. You're walking into somebody's mother's house. Be humble and sit down and listen more than you speak. Listen more than you speak. Listen with 2 ears more than you speak with 1 mouth. Okay? So when it comes to walking into a place like Gambia, I did not know that in the Gambia, they overuse the word stubborn. Mm-hmm. Stubborn. Stubborn is the Gambia's word. Okay? Stubborn. And this is a word that we don't really use much in the States. We're not like, oh, you're stubborn, he's stubborn, she's stubborn. We don't really use stubborn. What does stubborn mean in the Gambia, honey?
Someone who is strong-headed.
Can you speak up? Because I don't think they can hear you.
I mean, it's just a term that we use for someone who is strong-headed, someone who likes to push and pull, someone who likes to be, how do I call it, defensive. So they use it for different things.
See, even that, you heard what he said? He said defensive.
It depends on the subject matter that you are on at that moment.
You see, he said defensive. Now, even that word, we would overthink it. We would scrutinize it. Like, what do you mean defensive? What am I defending against? These are the type of nuances that I'm speaking about. So for me, hearing the word stubborn in the beginning, I didn't know why I was being called stubborn. Like, what exactly does that mean? Because we don't really use it in the same way in the United States of America. But, coming into a place where now I'm hearing it, I'm observing it, I'm not speaking on it, I'm not commenting on it, but I'm trying to learn the nuances. Speaking from that place, now I can say, oh, okay, stubborn means strong. Stubborn means independent. Stubborn means outspoken. Stubborn means that I have something to say. Stubborn means I'm going to do things my way. Okay, so it means what it means in that way, and it's a word that's used often. It's a word that's used often. So I'm pointing this out to you because I want you to understand that there are so many different small micro nuances that you're not going to be aware of, that you're not going to understand, that you're not going to be able to make sense of, because you're traveling from one side of the world all the way to the other side of the world. So because you're traveling from one side of the world to the opposite side of the world, that means that everything in this culture could very well be opposite.
Yeah.
It's an opposite culture. It's not going to be anything like what you have experienced where you're from. And one thing that I want to make sure that you remember is that you are not there to colonize anybody's mother's house. So please don't come to no country and say, well, we don't do it this way. Y'all should do it this way because we do it this way. So y'all should see how we do it because we wouldn't have done it like that. Well, if you wanted to do it like that, you could have stayed where you was at. They go back to where you was, where they do it that way. That's it. That's it. We're not coming to colonize anybody. We're not coming to enforce our way on anyone.
So even if you have a better way, there's a way to approach it. You can still say what you need to say, but you need to understand how to say it, and which is still part of the humility that we were talking about. Humbly, respectfully, is across the board in Africa. So you find them doing whatever they're doing in their particular, and every country had their own thing going on. It's still 54, one Africa, but every country have their own ways of doing certain things. And they have their own laws and they have their own rules. And they even have their own ways of doing certain things in the society and in their community as well. So you need to understand how to approach them. Even if you have something better or a suggestion that you believe that's going to help, rather than you coming to tell them that no, the way you're doing it is wrong, and this is how we do it there.
Right.
So
right.
They're not going to accept it.
Yeah.
And before you know, you'll find yourself in a situation where nobody's accepting you.
Oh, and speaking of a situation where nobody's accepting you, Babe and I were just talking, Seiko and I were just talking like maybe 2 weeks ago about this whole understanding of Pan-Africanism and how it's not widely known. Like, Black Americans tend to know way more Black history than any other group of Black people in the world. We know our history because we have spent years and decades piecing things together, taking classes here, doing a lecture there, doing a workshop here. We have pieced it together like a 1,000-piece puzzle. Okay, and we're very aware and very knowledgeable, and way more knowledgeable than our brothers and our sisters on the continent. So when you are coming to Africa, when you are coming to, whether it's West Africa, Central Africa, South, wherever part of Africa you are coming to, you're not coming as Moses and Paul to spread the word. Like, you're not coming to awaken the minds of people. Like, be very aware that a lot of times when we come, we're coming with so much energy and so much reverence and so much emotions, and it was such a big journey and it took this for us to get here, that we're coming and we're firing information at people who are just trying to make it day to day. They're just trying to get by day to day, and sometimes it can be so overwhelming to people that it makes it impossible for them to receive it. It makes it impossible for them to receive it. And it almost seems like you're a bit off. It can seem like you're a bit off, right?
Of course, they're going to look at you in that kind of way, because it's like people have their own political situations in Africa as well. It's not perfect. So there's a lot of things happening in every different countries in the continent. So you coming over there, you trying to give them a whole lecture about what happened and how it happened, and this is what Black people are trying to do.